Hello, my dear students. Last year we have started learning physics and we have learned so many things during last year, and now you have entered into class 7. So we are starting with class 7 physics, and our chapter name is physical quantities and measurement. Already we have discussed about how we are measuring things. Last year the same chapter we were having, and we have discussed about 4 quantities. The first one was length, then time, temperature, like that we have studied. So again here we are in this year we are going to learn little more. Rather than that those quantities, we are going to learn little more. So physical quantities, what do you mean by physical quantities? Physical quantities means the quantities that can be measured. For example, length already we have learned, mass, temperature, time. Along with that we are going to learn something more. This year we are going to discuss about the area, then volume, then we will go to next term, density. And from here I think it's clear that area and volume already you have been studied from your lower sections in mathematics. Okay, so when we are just before starting, I would like to say what is magnitude. That means if you want to measure something, there should be two quantities. First one is magnitude and another one is unit. Last year we have studied the same when we have discussed about length or when we have discussed about mass. We have studied that. For example, I am going to buy 10 kilogram rice. That means 10 is representing magnitude, how much. Then unit will represent kilogram. Kilogram is unit and 10 is the magnitude. So whenever we are going to express some quantities, physical quantities, then there will be two things will be there in that expression. One is magnitude and another one is unit. So magnitude, so we were last year before ending the semester, you have measured your height and weight. At that time also you have height sometimes 140 centimeter, 150 centimeter. So 140 will stand for magnitude and centimeter is standing for unit. So first, if you want to have a measurement in a physical quantities, you should know two things. One is magnitude and another one is a unit. Then again, first portion first topic we are going to discuss today is area. What do you mean by area? Area means, definition is like this: the amount of surface enclosed by a plane figure is called area. The amount of surface enclosed by a plane figure is called area. For example, if I take this duster and I am going to place this one on the top of my book, then how much surface is enclosed by this plane figure? I have kept this one on the textbook. How much surface is enclosed? And that is called area. Okay, and for area we have the unit. If we want to express, last year we have expressed the length in meter. So if we are expressing the unit of area, then there will become the unit of area is square meter or meter square. Square meter or a meter square. Then again, we have some certain shapes. In mathematics you have studied some definite shapes for different objects in our around us. Then square is familiar to you, rectangular shape is there, and triangular shape is there. If you want to measure the area of a square, we will find the area by multiplying side into side. Okay, now from here you can understand how this meter square has come. Side is measured, the side of a square is measured in meter because its length. Then again, another side is also measured by meter, that is also length. So meter into meter, you are going to get a meter square. So if you want to find out the area of a square, you are going to multiply side by side and that will give you the area. That means you are going to multiply between meter and meter, you are going to get a meter square. For example, if it is a 2 into 2, one side of the square is 2 meter, then 2 into 2, 4 meter square. Then the answer will be 4 meter square, where 4 stands for magnitude and meter square is standing for unit. Then next one is a rectangular. if a rectangular shape is there, you are instead of side into side, we are considering length into breadth. Then again, the unit of length is in meter and the unit of breadth is in meter. So meter into meter, again you are going to get a meter square. So unit of area is a meter square. Then if it is a triangle, already you know the equation. The formula to find out the area of a triangle is half into base into height, or you will be studying like this, half BH, where base is measured in meter and again the height is also measured in meter. Then again we are going to multiply this one between meter into meter, the unit will be meter square. So these are about the regular shape things. So once again, area is the amount of surface enclosed by a plane figure is called area, and the unit of area is meter square. And if it is a definite shapes, we can find out using the equations in mathematics. We will find out the area, and the unit of area is meter square. Then this we have discussed about the things which is having a definite shape. Now we are going to discuss how if I am having an irregular shape of solid. For example, I am having a stone piece which is do not have a particular shape, or a leaf. I think last year already we have discussed this one. If there is a leaf, how we will calculate the area of a leaf. Okay, for that, if it is a irregular shape of solid or irregular shape of thing, we are going to use a graph paper. And you are familiar with the graph paper. In graph paper, you are going to get some lines will be, columns will be there. And each one will be standing for one side will be is equal to one side will be 1 centimeter and this side also will be 1 centimeter. So this is standing for a square. What is the area of square? Side into side. So 1 into 1. So 1 centimeter square will be the area of one box. So we are going to take a graph paper, and on the graph paper we are going to place a leaf. Okay. So the leaf will be placed on the graph paper, and we are going to just take the outline of the leaf. And when we are taking the, after that we will be just removing the leaf from the graph paper, so that you are going to get the outline. Then next step is you are going to count the full figures. That means how many full boxes are there inside the outline. So inside the outline, how many full boxes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full figures are there. Okay, so you are going to it's 8. 1 square means 1 centimeter square, so it will be 8 centimeter square plus. Then again we are going to measure, or we are going to count the number of boxes which is not completely filled, or just half and above half we are going to measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 half or more than half rectangular boxes are 7. So here we can say that 7 means we have to divide it by with the half. So 7 divided by half, you are going to get a 3.5 centimeter square. So we are going to write here 3.5 centimeter square. So the total will be 11.5 centimeter square will be the area of this leaf. So if it is a irregular shape of solid, what we will do? We are going to take a graph paper, and on the graph paper we are going to place that irregular shape of that solid. We are going to take the outline. Then after taking the outline, what we will be doing? We will be doing just counting the full squares and half squares. Full square we will count, and you will write the same number here. And you are going to count the half squares. And after counting the half squares, what you will do? You will multiply by half, 1 by 2. So 7 half squares are there. By 1 by 2 you are going to get a 3.5. That means 3.5 complete squares. So 3.5 centimeter square. You are going to add that both number of half squares and the number of full squares. Then you will get the answer. Again, once again we are discussing this one. What is physical quantities? Physical quantities are the quantities which can be measured. If you want to measure any physical quantities in physics, we need to know two things. One is magnitude and another one is a unit. Magnitude will be always standing a numerical digit, and another one will be the unit. For example, 10 kilogram, 10 is the magnitude and kilogram will be the unit. Then area, the amount of surface enclosed by a plane figure is called the area. Then what is the unit of area? The unit of area is meter square. Then again we are having some definite shape. If it is a square, we will find out the area of a square by side into side. if it is a rectangle, you will be multiplying with the length into breadth, and if it is a triangle, you are going to use the expression half into base into height. And if it is an irregular shape of solid, we will use a graph paper, and there we are going to find out the area of that irregular shape of solid using by counting the number of full squares and half squares. Okay, our next subtopic is volume. Already we have discussed about area. After that we are going to discuss about volume. So what is volume? The definition is the total space occupied by an object. The total space occupied by an object is called its volume, and its unit is meter cube. Its unit is meter cube. Then already you know, if you are taking some amount of a glass of water, the water needs a space to occupy inside the glass. Or if you are filling a bucket with water, that bucket is needed. That water is going to take the space what is given by that bucket. That space is the space required to occupy by an object. That means the object is water. That space is called the volume, and its unit is meter cube. Okay. Then again, we can find out that if it is a solid of fixed shape, for example a cube, you will be find out the volume into volume by multiplying side into side into side. That means the side is expressed as meter into meter into meter. 3 times we are going to multiply with side. So this meter into meter meter cube. Again, if it is a cuboid, it will be having length, breadth and height. We are going to multiply with the length, breadth and height. For example, if the length is measured in meter, breadth is measured in meter, and the height is measured in meter. So this will be equal to meter cube. And if it is a small things, that means one side is not that much of meter, then we will express in centimeter. Okay, then that unit will be changing into centimeter cube. For example, if I want to find out the volume of this duster, see this duster is having area means what? When I am placing on my hand, how much space is covered by this duster is called area. Then if I place this duster somewhere, how much space is required? For example, how we will be finding out? We will be finding out length, breadth and height. 3 quantities we are going to measure: length of this one cuboid, breadth of this cuboid and the height. So these 3 quantities will be multiplied and we are going to get the volume. Then if you want to find out the volume of a cube, we know that cube means what? A rectangular cuboid shape which is having length equal to 1 meter, breadth is equal to 1 meter and height will be also equal to 1 meter. So at that time we will get the unit as a meter cube. The total volume of that cube will be 1 meter, 1 into 1 into 1 meter cube. Then the unit we will get meter cube. Okay, and so from here it is clear that if you are getting any shapes by multiplying 3 quantities, length, breadth and height, you are going to find out the volume. Okay, then next one. This is regarding the measurement of solids. Now we are going to move to the next one, how we are going to measure the volume of a liquid. Okay, so in order to measure the volume of a liquid, first we want to define what is capacity. What do you mean by capacity? Capacity, the maximum volume of a liquid that a container can hold is called a capacity. For example, if you are going to take one glass, there will be a maximum level of water which the glass can contain. If you pour again and again, what will happen? The water is going to be overflow. Okay, so the maximum capacity of that particular object or that particular container is called its capacity. And how we are measuring the, how we are expressing the volume of a liquid? In liter, not in meter cube. We are going to measure in liter. So 1 liter will be equal to 1000 milliliter, or this will be equal to 1000 centimeter cube. 1000 centimeter cube, or 1 milliliter will be always equal to 1 centimeter cube. Okay, now next one is we are going to I am going to introduce you some containers. That means how we are going to measure the liquids. This two containers. First one is a conical measuring cans. Conical measuring can. If you want to buy some kerosene or petrol or like that something, or oil something, you used to use the conical measuring cans. These are four types of conical measuring cans. One is 50 ml, one is 200 ml, one is 500, and another one is 1 liter. But the drawback, the limitation of this can is, if you are using a 50 ml can, you can measure only 50 ml. You cannot measure 10 ml, you cannot measure 20 ml, or you cannot measure 30 ml. Or if you are using a 500 ml, you are able to measure only 500 ml. You are not able to measure any amount less than 500 ml. Or if you are using a 1 liter can, conical can, then you will be able to measure only 1 liter, not below 1 liter. That means half liter you cannot measure, or the 250 ml also you cannot measure. Then another one is, this is also I think familiar for you. This is called the cylindrical measuring cans. Cylindrical measuring can will be in cylindrical shape. Mainly this is used for measuring milk and all. Okay, milk and all we are using cylindrical measuring cans. These both are same. This is also 100 ml, 200 ml, 500 ml and 1 liter is given. But only 100 ml can be measured using a 100 ml cylindrical can, or only 500 ml can be measured using 500 ml measuring can. In between, below these quantities cannot be measured. This is one of the main drawback of the measuring cans, whether it is a conical measuring can or a cylindrical measuring can. Okay, so in order to overcome that one, we have another type of measuring, that is measuring beaker. Okay, now we have seen conical measuring can and cylindrical measuring can. There we have seen that we are able to find out only one particular quantity. So in order to overcome that one, we have a measuring beaker. Okay, measuring beakers normally we are using in chemistry labs and all. Otherwise also it is made up of glass. It's a cylindrical shape, and there will be some markings will be there, and on the marking there will be measurement will be written 10, 20, 30, 40 like that up to 100. This is a 100 ml measuring cylinder. Then you can have bigger one. Sometimes it will be 50, 100, 100, so up to 1 liter like that will be there. So the main benefit of this measuring cylinder is that if you want to measure 10 ml, not only 100 ml, if you want to measure 10 ml, you can fill the water up to here, so that you are going to get a 10 ml. If you want to get 50 ml, you measure up to here, you will be getting 50 ml. So this is the main benefit of the measuring cylinder. Okay, so any volume less than this one, from there is a lower limit 0 and upper limit 100. In between 0 to 100, any volume can be measured using a measuring cylinder, and it's made up of glass. And the measuring points will be also marked at the side of the wall of the container. Okay, now the next portion is that if it is that this is already known quantities or a shape, the solids which are having a definite shape. And the last portion of this section is how you are going to measure the volume of an irregular shape of solid. For example, you are having a stone piece like this, an irregular shape of stone piece you are having. How you are going to measure the volume of irregular shape of a stone piece? So in order to find out the volume of the irregular shape of stone piece, you take a measuring cylinder like this, made up of glass. A measuring cylinder you will be taking, and you will be taking that irregular shape of stone. You are going to take a thread, and you are going to tie the stone with the thread. Okay, now what you will do, you will take some amount of water. For example, up to 40 ml you are going to fill the water inside the measuring can. So initial volume is 40. V1 will be equal to 40 ml. Now again we are going to take this thread, that means already the stone is tied on the thread, and we are placing the thread inside we are just placing the thread inside the water. Using thread we are going to place the stone inside the water. At that time what will happen? Normally the water will be rising, the level of water will be rising. For example, from 40 it has reached into 60. Okay, up to here the volume has been raised. So V2 will be equal to 60 ml. Now you are going to get two water levels. First initial level was 40 ml, and when you have fully completely placed the stone inside the water has raised into 60 ml. So what is the difference? There is a difference of 20 ml. So this 20 ml will be the, or 20 centimeter cube will be the volume of this irregular shape of solid. Okay, so in order to find out the volume of an irregular shape of solid, what we will be doing? We will be taking a measuring cylinder and a known quantity or known level of water is going to fill in the measuring cylinder. After that, we are going to take the stone, which is and we are going to take on a thread. It will be tied, and that stone will become completely immersing inside the water. So the water level will be rising. Okay, so the difference between the two levels will give you the volume of this particular stone. Okay, so these are the main points of this section. So once again, we have discussed about the area. Then after that, we have find out the volume. Then we in the volume we have seen how we are going to find out the volume of solids and irregular shape of solids and liquids. Okay. Now for some, I will give you 2-3 questions. You can just derive the numericals using the equations. Already the equations I have already written in the previous sections. The first question is, the length and breadth of a park is 60 meter and 40 meter respectively. Find its area. Okay, the length and breadth of a park is 60 meter and 40 meter representatively. Find its area. That is, length and breadth is given. You can just multiply and you can find out the answer. The second one is, find the volume of an ice cream brick of length 22 centimeter, breadth 10 centimeter and height 8 centimeter. Once again, I will repeat the question. Find the volume of an ice cream brick of length 22 centimeter, breadth 10 centimeter and height 8 centimeter. So you have to find out the volume. The length is given, breadth is given and height is given. Then one more question, last question. Find the volume of 20 ice cubes, each of side 5 centimeter. Okay, so one ice cube which is having one side 5 centimeter. So you find out the volume of one ice cube, then that answer will be multiplied by 20 numbers. You will be getting the final value. Then always remember that when you are having the numerical, when you are getting the answers, only magnitude you are getting, and when you are getting the magnitude, you have to write the unit.